what's going on, guys? Today we're going to do question 30 and 31. This is from the SAT number 16, and let's jump in. So 30 says, as presented in the passage, the researchers make which assumption about the bionic leaf that is yet to be substantiated? And the way to solve this question here is to note first that we have this paired question, and then to remember that the best way to solve these types of questions here is to read the question like we did, and then go down to the answer choices for the second part here, 31, and basically try to choose a text that you think could answer this question. So you want to choose a text that is going to reference or relate to some of the details within the question, and then use that text to answer that one. So 30, like we said, says, as presented in the passage, the researchers make which assumption about the bionic leaf that is yet to be substantiated? So what we need to do is we need to go back and we need to look for a text that talks about the researchers making some kind of assumption, and specifically about the bionic leaf, right? So some sort of assumption that they're making about the bionic leaf. So this is anything they're uncertain about, anything that that they still haven't yet to found, but they're sort of assuming is true. So let's go and let's look at the answer choices for 31. So we have 40 through 47, which starts here. And that says the bacteria combine the hydrogen with carbon dioxide as they divide to make more cells. And then through a trick of bioengineering, they produce isopropanol, which is rubbing alcohol, which then can be burned in an engine, much like the gasoline additive ethanol. So this sentence right here, as I read through it, I don't see anything that could qualify as an assumption that the researchers are making. I don't really see anything that they're uncertain about. All I see really is them explaining how the bacteria function within this bionic leaf to help produce the fuel. So because I don't see anything that could really work as an assumption, I don't think this is a really good answer choice, and we should eliminate it. So let's look now at 48 through 52. That starts here. That says the advantage of interfacing the inorganic catalyst with biology is you have an unprecedented platform for chemical synthesis that you don't have with inorganic catalysts alone, said Brendan Colon, a graduate student in systems biology in the Silver Lab. So this is a quote from Colon, who's a student, and basically what he's saying is he's talking about why it's important, why this new bionic leaf is important, because basically what it's doing is it's taking the inorganic catalyst of the artificial leaf, and then it's combining with the bacteria or the biology, and you're creating this new platform for chemical synthesis. And so all he's doing here is sort of explaining why this is important and sort of what the advantage of this new method is. But nothing in here really suggests that there's an assumption that the researchers are making, something they don't know, or some unverified claim which they're depending on. So I'm going to get rid of B. C is 53 through 56, which is right here. And that says life has evolved for billions of years to produce catalysts capable of making chemical modifications on complicated molecules with surgical precision, many times at room temperature. So here he's elaborating, this is Colon elaborating on basically why this platform for combining inorganic catalysts with biological catalysts, why this is important, because basically what he's saying is life has evolved for so long that we produce all of these organisms that are able to make these chemical modifications, really with what he says is surgical precision. So basically he's saying it's important for us to combine these two methods because life and nature has been developing these methods of chemical synthesis for so long. So all he's doing is explaining why it's important to integrate biology and inorganic catalysts, but there's nothing here still about what I would see as an assumption. So I would say let's eliminate answer choice C. So now we have 56 through 60, which says Colon explains, if you can use enzymes for building chemicals, you open the door to making many of the natural compounds we rely on every day, such as antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and pharmaceuticals. So this is Colon elaborating on basically maybe some of the new innovations or some of the new products that can be developed using this methodology, where they're combining the biology, like I said, with the inorganic catalysts. And what he's saying is if you can use these enzymes, these bacteria, for helping to build chemical, then maybe you can build all sorts of other things like antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides, etc. And this is the last one here, so it kind of has to be our correct answer because we've gotten to this point already. We eliminated the other one, so we should expect probably D is the right answer. And it turns out it is, and the assumption or the thing that they don't know might be hard to see, but it really depends on this word here, which is this little word if. And basically what it's doing here is saying if you can use these enzymes, so if this methodology works and you can use enzymes to build these different chemicals, then you open up the door to all these possibilities. But if it's still a hypothetical, it's still something that's unknown. So that's going to be the point of assumption here. So this will be our text for 31. And let's go back and just make sure we know what it's talking about so we can choose an answer choice for 30. So the question or the lines again are saying that if you can use these enzymes for building chemicals, right? If you can use the process of the bionic leaf to build other chemicals, then you might be able to build all sorts of other things like antibiotics, etc. So let's see if we get an answer choice that will match that. A says the efficiency of the leaf can equal the efficiency of plant photosynthesis. It's saying that this is the assumption that the researchers make that hasn't been substantiated yet, that the efficiency of the leaf will equal the efficiency of plant photosynthesis. And this is not really a good answer choice because I believe, let me make sure, I don't think I have it reproduced here, but earlier in the passage, it already actually says that the bionic leaf can equal the efficiency of plant photosynthesis. Yeah, I think that might become later, or maybe it comes before. But they already say that the leaf will equal the efficiency of plant photosynthesis. So this is not an assumption that they make. This is something they already know. But even beyond that, really just the advantage of going through the answer choices for 31 first is that it tells us sort of what is the scope of possibilities. And none of these texts for 31 really tell us anything about plant photosynthesis. All they do is talk about, they talk about some different things, but none of them talk about the efficiency of the leaf, bionic leaf, matching that of plant photosynthesis. So because it's off topic, and because we actually know the opposite, we can get rid of A. B says that the leaf can be used to produce chemical compounds other than isopropanol. And what this is saying is this is an assumption that the researchers are making. And I think that this is a pretty good answer choice because this does match the text that we said, which is basically saying if you can use the enzymes, right, for building chemicals, so the enzymes from the bionic leaf for building chemicals, then you may be able to build all of these other things other than isopropanol. So I think that this matches pretty good with the text that we have, so we should keep it. The next thing we have answer choice C, which says that the artificial catalyst used in the leaf can be replaced by natural catalysts. So this is basically saying you have the process where you're using both artificial catalysts as well as natural catalysts, but eventually maybe over time, the researchers are assuming that you can just replace all of the artificial catalysts with natural catalysts. And this is, again, not something that any of the texts really talk about, basically supplanting the artificial ones with the natural ones. And if anything, the passage suggests that you need both of them because it's sort of praising the integration of the two. So because of that, I don't think this is a good answer choice. I think we should eliminate it as well. D says that the assumption the researchers make is that the leaf can generate a fuel that powers engines as efficiently as ethanol does. So again, the leaf can generate a fuel that powers engines as efficiently as ethanol does. So they're saying that this is an assumption the researchers make, but we should look at two things. One is that we already know that, I think it's here, that the leaf is able to produce isopropanol, which they said burns in an engine, much like the gasoline additive ethanol. So it doesn't say exactly that it's as efficient, but because it's saying that it burns similarly, I think that's close enough to say that's not really an assumption. Moreover, the answer choices for 31, none of them really talk about the leaf and the fuel that it creates, and none of them really talk about that fuel, the efficiency of the fuel and whether or not it could equal ethanol. So for that reason, we can get rid of D, and that's going to leave us with answer choice B, which is our correct answer for question 30.